Morning to you viewers. Let's begin what's trending. With reactions trailing the suspension of Abdul Ningi, senator representing Bauchi Central, after he alleged that the 2024 budget was padded by 3 trillion naira. The upper legislative chamber during the debate leading up to Ningi's suspension descended into chaos when senator representing Cross River North, Jaribe claimed that some senior senators received 500 million naira in the budget for constituency projects.
We are going forth and back on these issues and coming up with issues of the budget and individual issues concerning what came to our various constituencies. If we want to go into those issues, all of us are culpable. Some senators here, so-called senior senators, got 500 million each. I am a ranking senator, I didn't get. Did I go to the press?
I didn't get.
Most of you got. And yes, if we want to go into those issues, excuse me, if we want to go into those issues, yes. So I think that Senator Ningi,
That's the famous moment, the off your mic moment that has been trending on social media. Dr. Abati, let me take this WhatsApp comment. This person wrote, definition of irony. The patriotic politician who was infamously told off your mic for being willing to divulge information exposing corruption in government is now the Senate president under whose hammer the Senate approved a current minister who was the chair of the committee he was indicting. I mean, I know we all know who that minister is, Rufai. I mean, that really is the comment. Now he's now the one chairing the off your mic segment in the Senate. Well, in the meantime, the majority leader of the Senate, Okpeyemi Bamidele, during Tuesday's plenary claimed that some senators are planning to impeach Senate President Godswill Akpabio before the 13th of June 2024, and that the allegation made by Ningi was tantamount to a civilian coup against Akpabio. Bamidele also admitted that 500 million naira was given to certain senators and urged Nigerians to be patient with the senators to see if they don't use the money for their constituency projects.
I stand with due respect to say that what my big brother, distinguished Senator Abdul Ningi, who I respect so well, planned to do or set out to do was tantamount to a civilian coup, which has failed. And in doing this, he wanted to use the platform of Northern Senators Forum. Mr. President, sitting as chair, make no mistake about it. A few people who fear they will not give you more than 1 year to spend in this chair want to do everything possible before the 13th of June to remove you. It is about Akpabio. It is about the South. You can now understand why Senator Ningi will want to use the name of Northern Senators Forum, even when most of them did not agree to this. We must do the right thing today. We did not start this fight. Senator Ningi took this to the public domain, standing up to apologize here, even after he repeated that some people got 100 billion from this budget, some people got 60 billion. Haba, what apology are you expecting? Let us do the right thing, and I am saying it as part of the leadership of this Senate. I am not bothered. I was going through online, just as this is going on, it's trending now, that every senator got 500 million. My appeal to Nigerians is not about what was said there today, because I'm not going to deny that. But we have 12 months to implement 2024 budget. Let every Nigerian wait to see whether there is any of these senators who will not bring enough boreholes, enough solar street lights, enough road construction, and other projects, training and empowerment that will be up to 500 million naira. That is it.
Well, all right. Those constituency projects, Dr. Abati, Rufai, Ayo. Let me take some tweets. This is from Mahdi Shehu, who wrote, 18 billion naira for Akpabio's constituency for agriculture. This amount is more than the amount allocated for 11 states. Where were the senators when the budget was being deliberated or approved? In hotel rooms, at guest houses, abroad, attending birthday parties. Another tweet he pulled. 2.5 billion naira approved for Akpabio to buy deep freezers for his constituency. Wonders shall never end. Anyway, with Akpabio, anything and everything is possible, considering his past records, how he emerged as Senate President without being a candidate in an election. I mean, we have seen that appropriation bill circulating, and also if you go on the budget website, you would see that Akpabio's, constituency projects amount to, I mean, what did I just call it? 18 billion and another 20-something billion naira. So what are we talking about here at this point, Dr. Abati?
The point that Senator Okoyemi Bamidele was making is coming up with a conspiracy theory, which we really cannot prove. He's the one who is on the floor of that Senate, and he says that, look, what Senator Ningi did, using the name of the Northern Senators Forum, is to give a dog a bad name in order to hang him. And so it's about conspiracy, but time will tell. And I quote Senator Adams Oshomole. Senator Adams Oshomole said, Senator Ningi has stripped us naked in the marketplace, and we cannot, just cover it up as if it is nothing. And that was why I said earlier on the same program that, look, we have not had the last of this matter, particularly with the integrity of the budget.
Yes.
And it's part of the responsibility of citizens in a democracy to raise questions about how budget is implemented. And I think that with regard to the integrity part of it, President Tinubu, who met yesterday with the leadership of the Senate, should also take an interest in it, because by extension, it will be the integrity of the federal government that will be at stake. That's one. Number two, you mentioned constituency projects. We've been on this constituency project matter since 1999. And that was why it was instructive what Senator Abaribe, who was our guest earlier on, was able to say. He said, cash is not given to any senator. That when these constituency projects are allocated, they are executed by the ministries, departments, and agencies. The question now is, in terms of transparency and accountability, to what extent are the lawmakers at the federal level involved in the execution of those projects? Because their responsibility is to make laws for good governance, peace, and order in Nigeria, not to go about executing projects. So the Nigerian citizens should be interested in that. To return to the case of Senator Ningi, yes, his colleagues did a good job of putting a lie to all that he said, and they ended up suspending him for 3 months. As I have said earlier on, that there are options. This is really not the end of the story. There are options available to Senator Ningi. He refused to apologize. He said he stands by his story, but he can go to court.
Yeah.
Order 67 sub 4 of the rules of the Senate, Order 67 sub 4 of the rules of the Senate says that you can only suspend a member for 14 days. Now he has been suspended for 14 days. So he can approach the High Court and test that Order 67 sub 4. He may win, as Senator Ovie Omo Agege did when he was suspended in 2018, and he returned to the Senate when Honorable Justice Dingba ruled that his suspension was constitutionally defective. He may also succeed, like Honorable Akinibido, in the case of Akinibido versus Ondo State House of Assembly, where the court ruled that you cannot suspend a member of the House indefinitely. A member of the House of Assembly, you can only suspend him for a legislative sitting, maybe for a day, not to say you have suspended indefinitely. So these are the options that are available there. But the Nigerian people will continue to watch this Senate closely, because as Oshomole said, they have stripped themselves in the marketplace.
They have stripped themselves in the marketplace.
And we are seeing the nakedness. And more questions will be raised.
Right.
Not about what you think.
Not about what I think.
Using the word nakedness in a generic
No,
sense.
of course, we all understand that. But the issue of suspension, you have heard from a current senator. Let's hear from a past senator, reactions. This is from Senator Shehu Sani, who wrote, suspension in the Senate means a senator will not be allowed to attend the plenary and will be prohibited from attending committee meetings and participating in oversight functions. His salary, allowances, and all entitlements will be blocked. He will not have access to his office, and he is expected not to be seen within the premises of the National Assembly until the suspension is lifted. When I publicly disclosed the salaries and running costs of lawmakers, it was the then Senate President who saved me from suspension. If you talk too much, your body go tell you that is why even opposition no fit oppose too much. You know, fit oppose too much.
Read
I mean,
between
you have to read between the lines. I mean, the issue also, I know that you raised the point. You don't know why we are talking about Akpabio's constituency project, but it is a big topic now. It is a lot of money because of that particular tweet from Shehu Sani, who says, if you talk too much, you'll be in trouble. What's your thought on that?
And speaking about even Stevens, as it were, Ayo showed me a message. I'm like, I think that's the greatest even Stevens. If they suspended Ningi for this, so who has been able to suspend Akpabio too for saying that they gave the governors 30 billion and him retracting on those words? Even Stevens. Anyway, I'm just playing. Moving on. So, as regards that, I think we should also drill down into Akpabio's 18 billion. Is it because of the privilege of being a Senate president, that's why he got 18 billion for his own constituency project?
More than others.
More than others. Where's the fairness in this? And we all know the corruption and the scam called consistency projects in this country. The same one, Human Me Oji, that somebody built recently and they put his name on all of them.
Saw that.
Huh?
We saw that.
The same one?
The schools and
that they built
nice.
and they put their name on
really.
it. And it's supposed to be a constituency project. So humor me very well. The same constituency project that ICPC did a very investigative report that revealed that most of them were reading with corruption. Till today, they deadened that ICPC, what's it called, investigation. So, and that's why I deliberately asked the question, do the senators oversee the contractors? Because that's the question. Yeah, you will not give the senators money in their account to do it, but they will have influence. And I repeat, quote me anywhere. There's no how they don't have influence over the contractors that finally execute those projects. Because there's no how. There's no how they don't have influence over it. And that's why Senator Zaina Baribe will not openly come out to say it, but he said, the way things are done in Nigeria, corruption has been. Because when those lootings happened during COVID, some senators, when they went to their homes, they saw motorcycles and they said they were going to share in empowerment projects. Those were part of the constituency project because some get there. I mean, Oji, you showed the other one on TV the other day about a senator that bought XYZ somewhere in Yewa, load the P drugs and everything and all of that to share. That's constituency project. Some of them say they want to give empowerment. So that's where it goes for. And guess what? They give it and the people think it's from their own pocket. It's not from their own pocket. It is your right as the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So we need to scrutinize the construction of the road. I hear they are doing street light to farm.
Markets as well.
We must be able to look many months down the line where those projects executed.
Yes.
Because we all know that this constituency project thing is one of the biggest scams. And I think, and every part of government is culprit. If a government wants to party the National Assembly, they say you take part of the National Party. I weep for Nigeria.
We shall hold Senator Bamidele to account because he did admit that
and in reaction to what he said,
500 million.
And in what he said, MOB should never say it's not about Akpabio. It's about the integrity of project being done. This is the same way they are saying they are cutting cost of governance. So it has shown with most of the frivolities in those projects that they can actually cut the budget less than. And Oji, I weep for Nigeria again. Because what hurts me the most, Most of these monies are borrowed money, Oji. They're not even money we've earned.
All right.
That's the painful part.
And that's why we must scrutinize,
Yes.
because already we are talking about the fact that there's a budget deficit. We're trying to fund infrastructural projects, capital projects, and we are having to borrow, in order to fund it. So it will be very sad if the monies borrowed are being used for spurious projects or are being pocketed by, by people. But I think it's important to talk about the fact that when we talk about the 500 million naira, the importance of that is, yes, it was clear and was clarified earlier by Senator Abaribe, and just for avoidance of doubt, the senators themselves do not execute the project. However, the 500 million naira is allocated, given to their constituents, and then MDAs have to execute, but they have oversight of it. Now, what happens is that we cheat the people. Constituency projects are meant to be, because these are the people who are meant to be, closest to the people.
Right.
So when you have people crying out, you have a lot of money like this allocated to build, things, and nothing happens. It's stealing from the people. It's cheating the people. So my final question is this: if the senator didn't come out with his allegations, would we not have heard about the 500 million naira allocated to this constituency?
Yes. Good question, Ayo. We need more answers. Well, all right. We'll take another story. Nigerians have reacted to a workshop organized by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation on International Public Sector Accounting Standards and Public Financial Management for State Commissioners of Finance and officials of the OAGF, which took place at the Hilton London Kensington in the United Kingdom between the 4th of March and the 9th. A picture showing the banner advertising the event made the rounds on social media, eliciting outrage. Let me take a tweet from Akintunde, who wrote, "I don't understand anymore. Office of the Accountant General of the Federation is holding workshop for commissioners of finance in 36 states in London. Are they solving public finance management of London or Nigeria? This government is not clear anymore." Dr. Abati, this government is not clear anymore. This picture was it a joke? Is it real? But it happened.
I thought it was a joke.
No, it's not
I
a joke.
looked at the picture again. I thought maybe it was AI generated.
No, it wasn't AI generated.
But
the event happened.
I think I
We
spoke
have the
to somebody who
pictures here.
said, that he too tried to double check, and that people actually, went to hold a workshop in London. My impression is that people are very bold in this country.
So,
Yes, sir.
When we talk about patriotism, these are the people we should direct that charge to. I mean, we have Yankari Games Reserve. We have Obudu Cattle Ranch. We have Sambisa. Well, they won't go and have a. They won't go for a workshop in. We have Akwa Ibom State, where they have very nice,
why?
resorts.
Nigeria, why?
And then to go and discuss public service accounting, 36 commissioners of finance went to London under the auspices of the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation. The Accountant General of the Federation. Then, of course, if the Accountant General's office is involved in this kind of wastage, then, of course, what accounting
It's in the budget.
are they really doing in that particular office? I think it's scandalous, and I think this should be investigated further.
Absolutely.
We must know the commissioners of finance who took the people's money to go and do workshop in London. Workshop that they can do. What is the name of that your village? You must have a beautiful hotel there.
They could have
gone to.
It's beautiful. You were there, yes.
To discover Nigeria.
I mean, come on, guys, really.
Oh, no, Bulu. I think you people want to have a hotel there. It's beautiful.
For the sake of argument, there was expertise in London they wanted to really access. They could have had a virtual meeting. Thank God for technology. If they wanted to go to, there's no justification for it.
Well, it's scandalous.
Absolutely.
It's worse than a joke.
I thought it was important to highlight
the governors should also be told, because a commissioner in a state cannot just pack his bag and leave. You will have to seek the leave of the governor. These governors too should stop approving this kind of frivolous trips. And the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation should not do it again.
Absolutely.
This kind of audacity is offensive.
All right, Dr. Abati, well said. We'll take another story. Let me highlight this story. Barely 6 days after the abduction of 287 pupils in the Chinku local government area of Kaduna State. Terrorists have kidnapped no fewer than 61 persons during an invasion of Buda Hausa, another community in Kajaru local government area. The terrorists were said to have invaded the community in the early hours of Tuesday, unleashing terror on residents from around midnight to 1 a.m. when they were asleep. In the meantime, the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, has called on the federal government to ensure the release of the students abducted by terrorists in Kaduna and Sokoto states. Okonjo-Iweala spoke in Abuja on Tuesday during the launch of the WTO ITC 2024 Technical Assistance Program for Nigeria.
I'm sad because I'm here at a time when once more hundreds of our school children and teachers have been abducted. As a mother, a grandmother, educator, and someone for whom education is paramount to creating economic opportunity, I am sad. And with the representative of my brother, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, here, I hope we can be able to recover them very soon in Kaduna and Sokoto.
All right, we need more powerful voices to speak on behalf of our students that have been kidnapped in Kaduna, Sokoto, and the other states. Well, we'll take our final story highlighting a shocking video which captured the moment a final year student of Abia State University was chased down and shot dead by alleged cultists. The video, which was recorded off campus, showed the victim crawling in an attempt to escape from the alleged cultists who chased him to his death. One of his attackers filmed while the other shot him point blank. This is such an unfortunate incident. Rufai, Dr. Abati Ayo, I have just reached out to the PRO. Let me just read the statement. It says, the Abia State Command is aware. Our officers, in collaboration with the military, swiftly responded and arrived at the crime scene, causing the culprits to flee upon sighting the police. The corpse was evacuated from the crime scene to the morgue, and exhibits has been recovered. Investigations are ongoing, and we will continue to update the public on its progress. This is a young boy sent to school and killed in broad daylight. Rufai.
That's a sad reality. What our country has become, the scourge of cultism. I'm happy that the police have stepped up. We'd like to see a final investigation to the matter. Commiserations to the family at a very terrible time like this.
Absolutely.
But we must stop this. And how do we stop this? There are many layers to it. There's a societal layer, there's an economic layer, there's a political layer. Because there are many people, politicians out there, that have power, some of these miscreants that morph into different cult groups and things like that. You know, and it's just sad what this country has become.
It is really sad. We are facing insecurity, Rufai. I just told you the story in Kaduna State. Just barely 6 days. We are 61 students, 61 people
the cult
were kidnapped.
There are street cults everywhere in this country.
Right.
There used to be a time, I don't know, I think Lagos State had done a lot of work as regards them. The Awawa boys, street cults, you know, all sorts around. This is just fast showing that Nigeria is failing in many of its responsibilities.
Absolutely.
And that's why you can see these same people go abroad to go and do training. And they'll say that's in the budgets.
But there needs to be more security. I was reading and speaking to people in the government house as well. I understand there's not even enough military to guard the